If the past 5 years have taught us anything, it's that the real estate markets can shift quickly and sometimes dramatically from the ultra competitive sellers market of 2020 to 2022 to the interest rate shock of 2023 and the cautious resets of 2024 and 25. Buyers and sellers alike have had to adapt. As we look ahead to 2026, the data suggests something we haven't seen in quite a while: a more balanced and predictable real estate environment. According to fairweather.com, mortgage rates are expected to settle into a range of approximately 6 to 6.3% in 2026. While that's higher than the historic lows, many people still remember from a few years ago, it represents a meaningful stability compared to the volatility we've experienced recently. Combined with only modest home price increases, around 1% in most markets, this creates a much more favorable environment for buyers than we've seen in some time. Another important factor is income growth. Nationally, household income is forecasted to increase by roughly 4% in 2026. This may not sound dramatic, but in real terms, it provides buyers with a bit of breathing room, more flexibility for down payments, closing costs, furnishing, or even small renovations after purchase. When you combine steady income growth with stable interest rates and slower price appreciation, affordability begins to improve, not overnight, but incrementally. All of this points to a market where neither buyers or sellers have a clear advantage. Instead of bidding wars and waived contingencies on one side, or steep price reductions and stalled listing on the other, 2026 is shaping up to be a year of negotiation, strategy, and thoughtful decision making. On a national level, the National Association of Realtors is particularly optimistic about the year ahead. Their economists are projecting a 2 to 3% increase in home prices nationwide, along with a notable 14% increase in overall sales volume. A large part of this optimism comes from reduced pressure from the Federal Reserves as inflation continues to cool, hopefully, and the broader economy stabilizes. That said, not all forecasting organizations share the same level of enthusiasm. Several analysts are taking a more measured approach, pointing out that while demand is returning, it remains sensitive to affordability and regional job growth. In other words, real estate in 2026 is likely to be highly localized. National trends matter, but local market conditions will play an even bigger role than usual in determining pricing, competition, and days on market. So this brings us to Albuquerque. Here in the Duke City, new construction continues to be one of the strongest forces shaping our local real estate market. Many builders are offering competitive pricing along with financing incentives such as interest rate buydowns, closing cost assistance, and upgrade credits. They have a lot of inventory they're trying to offload. For buyers who are open to living a bit further out from the urban core or who work remotely and don't have to worry about the daily commute, new construction can represent an exceptional value in 2026. Albuquerque has been grappling with a housing shortage for many years, particularly when it comes to affordable and workforce housing. That's beginning to shift slowly but meaningfully. Several major infill and adaptive reuse projects are currently underway, including the redevelopment of the former First National Bank building at Central and Lomas, the Wells Fargo building downtown, and a proposed live-work complex at Louisiana and Central. Together, these projects are expected to add approximately 300 new housing units along the Route 66 corridor in the next few years, along with economic development in those neighborhoods. While 300 units won't solve the housing shortage overnight, these projects represent an important step towards increased density, walkability, and housing diversity, especially in central Albuquerque. They also signal a broader shift in how the city is thinking about growth, not just expanding outwards, but reinvesting in existing infrastructure and commercial spaces. Economic indicators for Albuquerque further support the outlook for a stable housing market. According to data.com, the average household income in the metro area has increased from $63,971 in 2023 to over $70,000 in 2024, 2025. That is a significant jump in a relatively short amount of time, and reflects strength in sectors like healthcare, education, research, defense, and remote professional work. Homeownership in Albuquerque currently sits at approximately 68.7%, slightly above the national average of 65%. Higher homeownership rates tend to correlate with market stability as fewer homes are held as speculative investments. This reduces the likelihood of sudden sell offs and helps buffer the market during economic slowdowns. Taken together, these factors suggest that Albuquerque's real estate market in 2026 will mirror national trends, balanced, steady, and opportunity driven rather than fear driven. Seasonality will continue to matter. As always, spring and summer are likely to see increased activity, and particularly from buyers relocating for work, lifestyle, or changes or retirement. However, unlike in recent years, we may also see more consistent activity throughout the fall and winter as buyers feel less urgency to time the market. Pardon me. For buyers, 2026 may be about patience and preparation rather than speed. Negotiation power is returning. Inspections and appraisals are once again part of the conversation, and thoughtful due diligence is being rewarded. For sellers, pricing correctly from the start and presenting homes well will be critical. The days of simply listing and waiting for multiple offers are largely behind us, at least for now. In short, 2026 looks like a year where real estate decisions can once again be driven by life plans rather than market panic. Whether you're buying, selling, or simply watching the market, this is a more balanced environment offering clarity, choice, and the opportunity to move forward with confidence. For more info on the market or to get your home relocation journey get going, give me a call. Send me an email and we can talk about it some more. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe and check out this video over here because YouTube thinks that that one would be really helpful for you. Have a great 2026 and I hope you all do well in the coming year.